Everything on the Platypus I've noticed is very tight. So it's nice with the red accents that this guy got on it. Hey guys, Adam from Workman Firearms here. In today's video, we're going to do a disassemble and reassembly of the new Stealth Arms Platypus, which is a double stack 1911 that actually takes Glock 17 mags. So we'll get a chance to look over it and then take it apart, show you guys how it's done here. So let's get back to the bench and get this bad Larry taken apart. All right guys, so now that we're back at the bench here, we're going to start the disassembly process. To begin the process, we're going to want to clear our firearm. So we're going to drop that mag. Like I said, it is that Glock 17 mag that it takes there. Looks in real nice. So you're going to drop your mag, set it off to the side. You're going to rack that slide to the rear. And you want to physically and visually inspect the chamber. And then physically and visually inspect the magwell. And then just do a double check so that way we know it's clear. And the firearm is cleared. So from there, we're going to release that slide. And then we want to rack the slide back to our first divot so we can get that takedown pin out. So we're going to line it up right there like that. And then I like to take my thumb and put it through the trigger guard and wrap it around the firearm so that I can grab the slide like so and keep it in place. And then that way I can come around to the other side and push that pin out. I push it just like that and get it started. And it starts to come out and I can grab it from the other side and pull it the rest of the way out. Now I want to set that off to the side so we don't lose it. And then once we have that pin out, we can release our slide forward and it'll slide off of the frame. This is as far as we want to take the frame down. And if you guys want to take a quick look at the Platypus frame, this is the 3-hole trigger they got on this one with the square trigger guard. You can get flat triggers, the short round triggers, slotted trigger, the short straight trigger, and then you can also get a square trigger guard or round trigger guard, as well as the magwell is an option. And then you can color these guns any way you want, get them all types of Cerakote colors. So we'll set that off to the side, and then from there, we want to take our slide the rest of the way down. So to get the slide the rest of the way down, you're going to want a 4mm hex wrench, and you're going to place that into your guide rod, and you want to loosen it. I would also recommend holding this spring because once that guide rod comes out, that spring's going to want to go flying. So just hold that spring, kind of wrap your hand around it as you're loosening that guide rod. As you can see, it's coming out for us here. Now we're going to take our guide rod, now that we have it out, set it off to the side, and then we're going to let go of this. And as we can see, the spring trying to shoot away on us here, we're going to catch that. And then we're just going to take this and set it in our parts bin as well. We won't need this until the reassembly, so we'll set that off to the side. And then from there, we're going to want to take out our cover here, so you can just let that fall out, set that off to the side. And then we want to take our barrel bushing and spin it counterclockwise and then pull it out from the barrel there. Set that off to the side and then flip this down, and then from there we can push the barrel up and pull it out of the front of our slide. And that is our barrel there. Set that off to the side. Now our firearm is disassembled completely, and since this is a new firearm, we will clean it and lube it just to make sure it's ready to go on the range for our first day at the range. So once we do that, we'll begin the reassembly process. To do the reassembly process, we will leave the slide upside down here. Then we will take our barrel and we will slide it back in to our slide, like so. And we're going to flip that up. So now we're going to want to wrestle with our recoil spring and recoil. So now we're going to want to put our barrel bushing back on once we have the barrel in. So we will place it on so that it's facing off to the right side and push it down and then spin it so that it is sitting correctly on the barrel there. And then we will take this piece, we'll place it in here, and that barrel bushing is going to catch it so it won't slide all the way out on us. You want the narrow part pointing towards the front of the slide, and then we can take that recoil rod and get it started in there. Kind of hold it with our finger while we get our recoil spring placed over it. And this is the fun part, you're gonna have to fight with it a little bit. Get that on, and then push them together. And then you wanna push down because it's gonna wanna kind of come up, push down on it, and then make sure they're interlocked together and begin twisting counterclockwise on that recoil rod. And then we can come back to our wrench here and get that twisted all the way on. Make sure it is nice and tight. Hold it so that way you can tighten it. And now our recoil rod and spring are back on the firearm. The slide is completely reassembled. Now we can put the slide onto our frame. So now we want to make sure everything looks good on the slide. And you want to start at the beginning of the frame and then make sure they line up on the rails. Start sliding the slide onto our frame here. And then get it on there all the way. And then we're going to want to line things up again. And this time I do the cheeseburger grip just because it's easier to get the pin back in without my hand obviously in the way this time. So we'll make sure everything's lined up. Make sure you have a clear hole for that takedown pin to fit into. And then you're just going to take it and push down on it. It's going to click in. From there we can release the slide. And it's going to lock right back on. Make sure the slide slides on this. Everything on the Platypus I've noticed is very tight. So it's nice with the red accents that this guy got on it, but the slide itself is very tight on the firearm. So now we can do a functions check. Man, really nice trigger pull, really nice reset. But everything's back together and it looks great. And that's how you disassemble and reassemble the new Stealth Arms Platypus. Thanks for watching, guys.